Hi everyone, this is Migs from Sneaks and Ball PH and welcome to the first episode of the Kobe Hunt. Today we have a quick look and unboxing on the Kobe 1 Protro 81 points. To start things off, it's already been more than 6 months since Kobe passed away, and sometimes it still doesn't really sink in, and it's just kind of unbelievable how one of the game's greatest players could have been taken from us that early. However, here at SNBPH, I decided to embark on this Kobe hunt so that we can commemorate all of Kobe Bryant's sneakers from Nike. So to start things off, we have the Nike Kobe 1. And Kobe's path to Nike wasn't really, the easiest one. Because of course, he did start off signing with Adidas, and I don't know about everyone else, but those Adidas Kobe sneakers were butt ugly. And after a few years with Adidas, Kobe decided to become a sneaker free agent, and this is the time when we saw so many interesting Kobe PEs. Because he really did shuffle up his shoes. You could see him in Jordans, sometimes in the Reeboks, and even in Nikes. But for the 2005 to 2006 NBA season, Kobe decided to sign with the swoosh. The 2005 to 2006 NBA season was definitely an interesting one for Kobe. Because yes, the Lakers weren't that good because, they still did have Smush Parker and Kwame Brown, for crying out loud. But this was the season that Kobe was on an all-time scoring rampage. But it all culminated with his 81 points against the Toronto Raptors in January of 2006. For those who haven't seen that game or haven't seen it in quite a while, I'll leave it up here so that we can kind of take a trip down memory lane because oh, it was so insane, man. He was hitting jumpers, hitting threes, over double teams, dunks, layups. Anything you wanted, you name it, you got it. Then in 2018 and 2019, Nike started rolling out the Kobe 1 Protros, and this was pretty much unprecedented because, the only other person to have a lot of retros would be Michael Jordan. But Kobe decided to make it a Protro, which meant performance retro. And this kind of took the sneaker world by storm because yeah, we were used to Jordan retros, but Jordan retros are normally just how they were when they first released. But Kobe had a different approach with his retros in that he made some changes to make them even better than they were originally. Then with that out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. So the Nike Kobe 1 Protro comes in an all-black box, and then you have additional black details such as the Kobe logo and signature here on the top, and then you have a black Nike swoosh here on this side as well as on the other side, and then you also have your sizing and colorway information. Aside from those details, there really isn't much to the box, so it's just really simple. And then opening it up, you have your standard lid style, you have a little bit of paper, and voila! Oh, I've been waiting so long to have a pair of these shoes. So here you have it, guys. This is the Kobe 1 Protro 81 points. So just taking both shoes out of the box, here you have your left shoe. And man, right away you can see that that leather looks super nice and super premium. But we'll talk about that later. And then here you have your right shoe. Man, these look so pretty in person. Then just closing up the lid. And here you have it, guys. This is the Kobe 1 Protro 81 points. Then just a few quick tech specs on the Kobe 1 Protro. For the outsole, you do have this mostly herringbone traction pattern. And then here on the midfoot and tip of the toe, you do have this sort of diamond thread. Both the herringbone and the diamond nubs here on the outsole are super duper thick, which means that they are also fit for outdoor use. I also tried it out quite a bit here at home, and it was really sticking to all of my floors. But we'll have to wait for the performance review to see how good the traction really is. The outsole is also nice and wide and pretty flat, so I think that support and stability would be pretty good on this shoe. Then for the cushion, this is actually the major change between the Kobe 1 Protro and the original Kobe ones that released in 2005 and 2006. With the Kobe 1 Protro, it upgrades the isolated Zoom Air with a full-length Zoom Air cushion. The full-length Zoom on the Kobe 1 Protro is really responsive and really bouncy, and it also is encased within this Phylon midsole. The Phylon midsole is also nice and soft, and it actually isn't too thick. In my opinion, a low-to-the-ground full-length Zoom setup is pretty much unbeatable. This is exactly what I would prefer because it has a lot of responsiveness, a lot of bounce, a lot of impact protection, and you don't sit very high off the ground. Then for the materials, the Kobe 1 Protro has a carbon fiber midfoot shank that actually goes up to the side and even reaches the heel. This makes the shoe feel like it has a lot of torsional support as well as lateral containment in the heel. Then the upper is actually just as premium or even more premium than that carbon fiber, because the leather that they used on the all-leather upper is just super duper soft. This is definitely one of the nicest leathers I've ever seen in a retro, and it just is just amazingly soft. Like, if you don't know how really nice leather feels, then you got to try it on this shoe. You have that very soft full grain leather here at the toe as well as the lateral side. Then here on the medial side, you do have this sort of cracked leather. You also have some more premium leather here on the tongue, as well as the tongue patch. Then you also have two black leather swooshes, one here on the lateral side and another on the medial side. You also have this black leather patch here at the back, and then you have this sort of, foam back mesh here at the collar. And then you have your neoprene lining here inside. The neoprene lining is nice and padded as well as here at the back of the tongue. So I really enjoy that because it doesn't allow you to have that much lace pressure. Then lastly, you also have some metallic plastic here on the eye stays, as well as these thin rope laces. Then for fit and sizing, I did go true to size with the Nike Kobe 1 Protros, and it fit me perfectly. In my standard size 10, it's an almost perfect 1-to-1 fit. However, there is a teeny weeny bit of dead space here on the toes, but I don't really notice it that much. Then the leather is really nice and soft, so it really conforms well with your foot. And you also do have that heavily padded tongue, so that you can actually cinch down your laces to really customize the fit. Then if you are a wide footer, you might be able to go true to size, because as I said, the leather is nice and soft. The only problem you might have is with these foam teeth that come up on the side. But I definitely think that if you only have a slightly wide foot, you can definitely go true to size. However, for those with extremely wide feet, I think it's safest to go up half a size. Then for the aesthetic details on the shoe, you do have this Nike swoosh cutout that exposes the carbon fiber midfoot shank. And then you also have a little bit of Zoom Air branding here at the heel. Then on the midsole, you have more of that carbon fiber that comes up here on the midsole on the lateral side, goes around to the heel, and then ends here at the midfoot part of the medial side. Then here at the forefoot, you also have these phylon teeth that come up on the medial side as well as the lateral side. Both the phylon teeth and the carbon fiber are there to keep your foot on the footbed at all times. Then of course you have that white leather upper with those black leather swooshes that are stitched in with golden yellow thread. Then here at the back, you do have this classic golden yellow up-tempo branding. Then here on the tongue, you do have a golden Nike swoosh here at the base, a golden star here at the middle, and the Nike Kobe logo here on the top. On a side note, I think that Kobe has one of the most badass logos, so please sound off in the comment section down below if you agree with me. Then here at the back of the tongue tab, it actually says All-Star 2006. And then here on the insole, it actually lists all of the cities that hosted the All-Star games where Kobe played. So you have New York City, Oakland, Washington DC, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, Denver, and the site of the 2005 to 2006 NBA All-Star Game, Houston, Texas. Then for the overall aesthetic, since this did release in the mid-2000s, it is kind of understandable that it looks a little bit more bulky compared to the other Kobe models. It also is a mid/a high cut because, lows weren't really a thing until the Kobe 4 came along. But even though it does look a little bit bulkier compared to the other Kobe shoes, I really love the overall aesthetic of the Kobe 1 Protro. It's just such a clean looking shoe and a clean looking colorway in my opinion. And of course, it looks good in those Lakers home alternate colors. You have that super crisp and premium white leather. You have that black on the swooshes as well as on the carbon fiber. Then you have that purple here on the ankle collar as well as the outsole. It just comes together really well in my opinion, and I really love those golden yellow accents. This is definitely a shoe that I'd love to rock on court, and it does, in my opinion, have a little bit of off-court appeal. But just don't wear it with pants because I think it'll look really awkward. But that's just my opinion, so if you can pull it off with pants, then kudos to you. Then for the price, the Nike Kobe 1 Protro retailed for 8,995 pesos or $175 US. It actually is just a smidge cheaper than Jordan Retros. Then if you compare it to Jordan Retros, I think that the price is really good because Jordan Retros do release with the same tech that they did 20 years ago. And for the Kobe 1 Protros, they have updated it for today's game. And for my generation that grew up watching Kobe play, this feels just as classic as Jordan's. Then if you want to grab a pair of Kobe 1 Protros, this did release in January 2019. So it's not on sale currently in any outlet stores or any retailers. What I would recommend is to go on the resale market to get these, and I actually got these at a pretty steal price. I was able to get these at 7,500 pesos from Mr. Robert Ronald Ponce. It was actually such a nice and smooth transaction, so thank you Sir Ronald for that. However, if you don't want to go on the resale market to buy a pair of Kobe 1 Protros, I think they still have another colorway of the Protros, which would be the black and purples, that are on sale on the outlets. However, I'm not really sure how many sizes they have left at the Nike outlets, but it is worth a try if you really like that particular colorway. So there you have it, guys. That concludes the first episode of the Kobe hunt featuring the Kobe 1 Protro 81 points. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Then if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for any future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then also please sound off in the comment section down below what your favorite Kobe 1 Protro colorway is. Because for me, it is definitely the 81 points. Then if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot here at Sneaks and Ball PH.